Two Marvel sequels battle this week, but only one can claim victory. It's Thor, The Dark World versus the Avengers 1.5. Cast is going to be a tough one to cover this week, as we have a Kardashian's ass worth of characters to cover. On the demigod side of things, we have the only Hemsworth that matters, Chris, playing Thor. Natalie, I just keep getting hotter, Portman's back as his love interest, Jane Foster. I'm going to hang there for a second and point out that I think Portman gives the weakest performance of this cast. Normally I like myself a little NP short for Natalie Portman, but here she felt a little bit wooden, a little bit stiff, a little bit erect. Now I'm just referring to a penis. That's okay, let's move on. I actually took it upon myself, per usual, to show Mrs. Portman how it should have been done. I've recreated a scene with Thor. Let's roll that now. Timbre, put her up. I haven't heard from you since the first Thor film, and now here you come zooming down from Asgard like you own the goddamn place. How dare you? I love you. Recognize this song? You should. It was ours. It was ours. It's a Thor Christmas family reunion. The whole team is back. Anthony Hopkins as Odin, Rene Russo as Frigga, and good old loving brother Loki. Loki once again steals this movie, giving us a further look into his family issues and showing just how manipulative this bastard can get. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the villain this time around. Christopher Eccleston plays Malekith. Although he certainly looks the part of a bad guy, he just isn't given enough to do. Kat Dennings, however, got a beefed up role this time, and I believe they actually went back after preliminary shooting was completed to do additional shots with her. Captain America 2 has equally as many awesome characters. Chris Evans appears to be having way more fun this time around as Steve Rogers. I was actually surprised by how much screen time was dedicated to Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury as well. And it was kind of a breath of fresh air, I guess, to see ScarJo be treated more like a superhero and less like a over-sexualized individual. Kudos to Marvel for that and the screenwriters. Oddly enough, the person who created the posters for this franchise didn't get that memo. Hey Photoshop, Scarlett called. She wants her waist back. I would say the only misstep they have going for them is the new character Anthony Mackie playing Falcon. He just felt a little campy while flying around in his jet wings instead of a jet suit like Iron Man. I know, it doesn't make sense. The main bad guy in Winter Soldier does a fantastic job. I like the amount of backstory they give. I like that it tied in with the first shitty film. But they did a good job of explaining it, so if you didn't like the first film or hadn't seen it, you don't need to. And I suggest you don't. It's not very good. Let's go back to... Here's where these two films really stand apart. Thor plays more like a buddy cop film. Thor, our hero, has to team up with his brother who he despises, who he doesn't get along with. These two knuckleheads butt head this summer on NBC. There are jokes and hijinks to be had. It's by far the funniest Marvel film to date, and that's not a bad thing in these eyes, in this guy's eyes. Why am I pointing? I'm right here. The sequel upped the ante in all aspects. Funnier, more Kat Den, short for Kat Dennings. Larger scale battles, a tighter focus on Asgard, and a deeper look inside the mind of the twisted Loki. I don't know why I said Loki. It's trying to be funny. I would say Captain 2 is more in line with a Mission Impossible or a Tom Clancy type of vehicle. A slick action thriller that keeps moving and never really slows down. Another thing that immediately stood out to me was that we have people here actually dying. I don't remember a single person from the Avengers where there was a full-scale alien invasion getting killed. And that, to me, is upsetting, because there's nothing in this world I like more than watching people die in cold blood. I'm definitely going with Captain 2 in this round, and that's not just because it's this fun espionage thriller, but more so because Thor 2 has more holes than a coked-up hooker. The one that really got me hot and bothered was all the plot contrivances with Loki. Apparently he now has the ability to just change anything in a room, to mask himself, shapeshift others right before our very eyes. When did this happen? Did I miss something during the final credits of the Avengers where he's like, now I can change myself? Winter Soldier was an all-around better film than its predecessor. It looked so much better. It looked like the Avengers 1.5, as I jokingly started the review at, and nobody laughed. I also like how he uses his shield in this film. He takes out a fighter jet, kicks the shit out of like a dozen guys in an elevator, blocks bullets, explosions. It's multi-purpose, really. ScarJo and Nick Fury are badass as well. But then Falcon comes back in. Gross taste in my mouth from him. Actually, you know what? Bragan, take off 4 points for special effects on Captain 2 because of Falcon. I don't want to see him flying around like an idiot. Keep him on the ground, okay? Bragan. The Dark World puts up a very strong showing in the action effects department here. Futuristic spaceships crashing, futuristic spaceships coming out of camo mode and being taken down by Idris Elba. I basically love futuristic spaceships. And Idris Elba. Yes, I am fully aware I'm saying his name incorrectly. By choice. It's the principle of it. I don't like how his name's spelt, and I'm going to butcher it. Thor, once again, was a powerhouse of a hero, mowing down waves of bad guys with his trusty hammer. Everyone in the Thor household got a chance to shine. Even old Jane got to throw in a right hook. You go, girl. Somewhere else, because you're ruining these films. I'll say something ballsy here. Thor, in my humble opinion, has the best music in the Marvel series, in the Marvel universe so far. Composer Brian Tyler, whose previous works included Iron Man 3 and The Expendables 2, gives us some very solid and fitting scores that bring you into the world of Thor. It's dark, haunting, and very intense when it needs to be. And I'm really looking forward to his work on TMNT and The Avengers 2. Cap 2, once more, has the Avengers sounding theme to its name, which isn't a bad thing. Has sort of a Jack Ryan meets Man of Steel vibe going on. And that's all thanks to composer Henry Jackson, who previously worked on X-Men First Class and Wreck-It Ralph. Bottom line, I love both. They were stellar, I say, follow-ups to mediocre first films. Captain America Winter Soldier is more my style, with a more engaging story, slicker pace, and cooler villain, but I sure as hell won't judge you if you vote Thor. Give me your thoughts on these two superhero films. Pop them in the comments below. More than just reviews, this is Movie Feuds. Anybody else here in the mood for a little H. Duff? Little Hillary? Let the rain fall down.